Hey friends, Randall Dupre here with Forgepoint LLC. So this morning, as I was reading through my Maxwell Leadership Bible, I was reading through John chapter 13. Jesus washes the disciples' feet. And then I turned the page and I saw 21 laws, Jesus and the law of addition. So I thought this was really good stuff that I wanted to share. It says Christ-like servant leaders are motivated by love to serve others. Jesus' love was undeserved, unending, unconditional, and unselfish. It was not the worthiness or the merits of the disciples that drove Jesus to serve them. He wasn't expressing gratitude, but grace. Love made him serve his disciples. Jesus even washed the feet of Judas Iscariot, the man that he knew would betray him and have him killed the next day. The second thing it says is that Christ-like servant leaders possess a security that allows them to serve. Jesus knew who he was, and he was secure enough to get down on the floor and wash his disciples' feet. He didn't have anything to prove. In fact, he had nothing to prove, nothing to lose, and nothing to hide. The insecure are into titles. The secure are into towels. Isn't that so good? I love how John Maxwell always comes up with those clever little phrases like that. The insecure are into titles. The secure are into towels. Jesus' security enabled him to both stoop and to stretch. The third thing it says is Christ-like servant leaders initiate servant leadership to others. Jesus didn't wait for someone to clarify the protocol. He saw a need and he just met the need. No one else had volunteered for the foot washing job that night, so Jesus made an object lesson out of the event. He started something that he hoped would be passed down from those 12 disciples to others. Foot washing will never be in vogue. It will be done by leaders who are willing to pioneer an act of humility and sacrifice. The fourth thing, Christ-like servant leaders receive servant ministry from others. A servant's heart exposes pride in others. Peter had a hard time letting Jesus serve him. He still possessed a worldly mindset that assumed that someone of Jesus' caliber should never stoop to wash feet. Sometimes leaders must learn to let others serve them. Because they become so used to serving others, it is difficult for them to relax and receive. In this instance, Jesus was asking Simon Peter to sit and allow the master to serve him. The fifth thing, so Christ-like servant leaders want nothing to hinder their relationship with God. Peter moved from one extreme to the other. If Jesus was going to wash him, he didn't want to miss out on anything that he might do. He wanted Jesus to wash his entire body. Simon Peter exhibits a great attitude here. If Jesus was giving away, he wanted to receive all that Jesus had to give. He didn't want anything to stand between him and his Lord. Number 6, Christ-like servant leaders teach servanthood by example. Afterward, Jesus discussed the meaning of his foot washing. He reminded them that the Master and the Lord had just washed their feet, so no position should prevent them from doing it for someone else. Jesus let them know that if the Master had washed their feet, then they ought to imitate him. His model was to be reproduced, and in fact, his example was much more powerful than a lecture about the principle of service. Actions speak more loudly than words. And then number 7, Christ-like servant leaders live a blessed life. Jesus reminded them that they were blessed if they obeyed him in this lifestyle. The greatest blessings follow those who step out by faith and do the opposite of the world is doing. God blesses those who go countercultural and serve people with no thought of getting something in return from them. The return comes in the form of God's blessings. Good stuff. This is really good stuff. And then lastly, it says when leaders serve, they add value to the people who receive their service. This value might be as simple as feeling worthwhile or special. It could be that the value is in a resource we put in people's hand or a word of encouragement that we speak to them. Whatever it is, people always receive something and feel better about themselves because of their leader. Wow, this is really good stuff. Really good stuff. Thank you all for listening. I hope this added value to you. Have a blessed day.